started. I want to just praise to Tam for her amazing leadership in pushing forward the like organization for what's blocking the Commons upgrade and managing that for the Stewards. Great leadership in the Stewards of Stewards channel. I also want to praise Christopher for his leadership in both the rewards channel and the trusted seed with the Common Stack effort, which was of course critical for the TEC and will be critical for other groups. I want to praise, let's see, obviously Sam and Paulo for their amazing work this week on getting the Commons upgrade scripts to work, and that'll be demoed today. Of course, Vitor, Pedro, Fabio, Nuggin, and Mitch and Marco for the amazing push on the dashboard, which is starting to come out. Can't wait to demo that as well. And Zeptimus and Tam also for the great work on the tech, the replacing people's addresses, all the behind the scenes work there. Okay, I'll pass it to Acid Laser.
That's great. Hello, everyone. So I would like to praise Ivy, David, Chewy, Nate, Lauren, Manu, and Mitch for all their Params campaign, Twitter, and the forum. Praise to Eduardo, Chuga, and Ana Marie for the new Comunitas working group. And Septimus for being so quick with the YouTube videos. To Manu.
Thanks, Tocayo. I want to praise Chewy for his leadership and vision for the Conf working group and also for his new helmet haircut. I want to praise Ivy for her work on Twitter and on the Swag Shop. I want to praise Nate for his thorough and insightful answers to the questions posed to me by new users and for polishing my forum posts. I want to praise Sam for her coordination, competence, and charisma. I want to praise Stephanie for testing Snapshot. Praise Juanca for all his work on the second graviton training. Praise Livia for her work with the reward system. Praise Griff for looking after me personally and for being a perpetual source of motivation for everyone. Praise Suga for creating the Comunitas working group. Praise Nugan for his forum post on Coordinate, which is a great addition to our organizational toolset. And praise Santi for his wisdom in the agave debate. And I'm gonna pass it to Mitch.
You caught me mid-typing the praise. Okay, I guess we'll do it on the fly. I'd like to praise Zepti, Griff, Nate, Livy, Santi, Mount Monu, and probably many others for engaging in the agave proposal debates and forum posts. I'd like to praise the Brazilian ninjas, Pedro, Fabio, Vitor, for their work on the Commons dashboard. I'd like to also praise Nuggin, especially for doing all the back-end work and really a lot of the technical stuff for the ABC. I'd like to praise Manu yourself for gathering all the people to do the user testing. And I would like to praise Acid Laser for all of the amazing graphics all the time. And I'd like to praise Suga and Tam for having exciting news for me. And I have much more praise, but I don't have it on the top of my head. I'll pass it on to Benoit. I don't know if he's here, actually. Benoit?
Yep. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'd like to praise Manu because he welcomed me yesterday in the welcome call. And Tamara, because I met her in ETHCC, the Daoist, and she recommended me to contact to come here. And all of you who don't know yet, but who are there and participate to this community that looks amazing from what I've read so far. And I don't know who's next. Mitch, did you already?
Yeah, I just went before you. I can give it on to David.
Oh, hello, everybody. I'd like to give praise to Mitch for deciding to do it on the fly, because that was my same decision just moments before you voiced your decision to do so. And so I want to praise Griff for always finding an RV that looks great. And I just watched your talk at MCon live. Very nice. Love the green pants, buddy. And praise to Acid Laser for coming with the graphics like a perpetual energy machine. Sunday, Saturday, doesn't matter. Praise Tam for her leadership. Praise Mount Manu for his energetic and great recruiting for user testing. I want to praise the newcomers that I don't recognize, Ty and Benoit, and there's more. And praise Nugan, praise Suga. Suga, we're going to catch up sometime. I know it. My Central European sister. Bye. Pass it to the Loogie Man. The only Loogie I've seen, Ben's, outside of ETH Scaffold. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm actually just here to show loogies, but no. Yeah, I one of the main things I've done this week was just keeping up with you all, is checking out the post on Agave and possibly using XDI from there. So I just wanted to thank everyone who contributed to that on the forum, because that's kind of how I've been keeping up to date, other than watching YouTube videos. So thank you. Praise to Mitch, Gene, Sem, Griff, and I think Septimus for posting the video as well. So thank you. And I'll pass to... Did Chewy go?
Thank you, Vince. I would like to praise Mitch for becoming a steward. I would like to praise also Manu for all of his support in comms. Also, praise Tam and Griff for their leadership this week. Also, Acid Laser for helping me last minute with designing the door presentation. Anna Marie for inviting me to the door presentation. That was really exciting. It just happened. And I would also like to praise Juanca for all the Graviton training preparation. And last but not least, Christopher for leading today's reward system call. And I'll pass it to Nate.
Thanks, Chewy. Yeah, I would like to praise Livy for all of the work that she's been doing around voting and all of the soft code decisions that are needing to be made recently. I want to praise Mount Manu and Eduardo for the amazing onboarding session that they held this week. I want to praise Tam for all the work that she facilitates in the background that's largely unseen. I want to praise Sebnem, Den Lessa, and Michael Zargum and YGG for holding an amazing talk in Omega around ethics. I want to praise Mitch for becoming a steward. Congratulations, man. You put in a lot of work, and you are definitely deserving of all of this. And then I want to praise Zepti for all the transparency work and the engagement on the forum. And I want to praise Wonka for all of the gravity works. So thank you, guys. And I will pass it to Megan.
Hey, yeah, I want to praise all the Params group, Mitch, Vitor, Griff, Lauren, Pedro, who's great to work with, Fabio, Mount Manu for all the testing, Nate for the Twitter work, Zepti for just always being there and giving good feedback. And then I want to praise Christopher, Olivia, Johan, Matteo, YGG, and YVV for jumping into the rewards group. And I'll pass it to Tam.
Cool. I'd like to piggyback on Manu's praise of Griff as a continual source of support and motivation that I could probably say every week. Dan, who does so much behind the scenes and doesn't get praised enough. I think a lot of us don't actually see the work that he's doing. Manu, Nate, and Alp for joining the TEC Coordination onboarding call. Angela for the insight and guidance, especially where potential strategic investors are concerned. Mitch for his leadership researching and evaluating interest-bearing options for the Treasury. Jeff for sharing the insight that when Livia tagged him on the forum, that entire conversation landed on his radar. Juan Carlos for agreeing to a Sunday call. It's the only day that I can actually offer any time at all to anyone anymore. The whole Params teams, because you guys are the ones that are going to make all of this possible for us. Christopher for like conscientious and meticulous work and always catching every detail. Nate for your TEC source section on Gitbook, and Jessica for the polycentric governance section on Gitbook. And I'm going to pass back to Griff to pass on.
Let's throw it to Wonka.
Thanks, Griff. Yeah, I would like to praise Septi for organizing the voting analysis on Snapshot group. That was amazing. Didan for his objectification post. I think we should share that post more. It's great. Acid Laser, Michael Hewer, and Bye Bye B for getting the POAP bot ready for the Graviton training. Tamara for being a great Graviton. Durgadas for always sending a lot of valuable information. Griff for being a great motivator. Livia for her inspiration. YGG for the proposal inverter proposal on Prime DAO. Manu for his support, and Chuy also for leading comms and for the great TE comms DAO proposal that it's great for all the working groups. And I will pass to Solcista.
Hey, I have again so many people to praise, and I will do that with more time. But I just wanted to praise again a new member, Matt Stahl, who's joining the Omega group. So it's always great to have the new ones. And I pass it on to who?
Yeah,
let's throw
that's a good leader.
Let's throw it to Paulo.
Hi everyone. Been a long time since I joined one of the community calls, but anyway, this week I would like to praise Sam for helping me on the Commons upgrade script. It has been cool, and Chuy for working weekly on reporting the work that we do on the swarm, or the latest work. And yeah, I'll pass it to Septimus.
Yeah, thank you, Paulo. I wanted this praise to Griff because he's on Denver talking about TC, so that's comms for us. Thank you, Griff. I wanted this praise to Acid Laser, Chuy, Ivy, and David. They are all working on the Twitter. Acid Laser doing designs, Chuy coordinating, like they're doing an amazing work there. I wanted this praise to Mitch for becoming a steward, and also like you're killing it, man. Like the dashboard, then the debate, like you're killing it, bro. Thank you. I also wanted this praise to Juan, Livy, and Ivy, of course, for the voting sessions we did. It was super fun. And I also want to this praise to Ivy because she's supporting, like, I love to work with her. It's awesome. I want to this praise to Juan for the Graviton training. And I want to this praise to Nate for all the insightful forum posts. Thank you. And I'll pass it to Griff because I don't know.
I want to just praise for Lansky for interrupting this call. Sorry about that. I'll pass it to Fabio.
Thank you, Griff. So I would like to dish praise for the Params working group, especially Pedro for supporting me on the front-end side, Nugan and Vitor on the back-end side, doing like the modeling and the API, Mitch for the reviewing and providing useful feedback, and Griff for like supporting this project and making it possible, and Marco for the mockups, amazing designs. And I don't know who should be the next one.
I can throw it for you. Christopher still needs to go.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. I'd like to praise RDF BBX Rudolph for deep diving into praise data models, and I'd like to praise HZ has for similar deep dives into source cred and how to model praise as a source cred graph, possibly. And I'd like to praise Nagan, Matteo, Johan, Rudolph, YGG, Viva V, and Olivia for jumping into the rewards system group. And I'll pass it back to Griff. Thanks.
No problem. Let's throw it to Olivia.
Thanks. This week has been, I've been thinking a lot about consistency. So I have a list of praises for like people being very consistent and just showing up. So I want to praise Griff, Tim, Septimus, Nate, Ivy, Katie, Christopher, Mount Manu, Meech, Chewy, Juanca, Lauren, Victor, Nugget, Acid Laser, Santi, Mateo, YGG, David, Eduardo, Sosista, Angela. And I'm like for sure forgetting people in this list, but I really appreciate how much people were just so here all the time, so consistent. And I dish praise to Easy's that just joined today after a quick onboarding call we had. And I'll pass to you, Easy's, if you can. She was having some problem with Discord, but you can unmute and say hi, and if you want to praise someone.
You're still muted. No? Okay, well, we can come back to you, but let's throw it to Aloysius.
I was unmuted already. Awkward. I can't think of anyone I want to throw praise directly to. Oh, yes, I can. Juan Bell. Juan Bell, I want to throw praise to Juan Bell for all the work that's being done in the Gravitron, Gravity, like, realm world. Yeah, and I want to, like, throw praise at the researchers who are mentoring right now in some of the, like, channels and threads that I've been watching. It's been really neat to, like, witness people sharing resources and talking about really serious stuff, but like analytically and without getting defensive or activated, like actually problem solving. I think that's where most of my praise feels like it's at right now, in the energy of the science that's happening in the commons. I have no idea who to hand it to, y'all, but that's my
Oh yeah, I got you. It's getting tough now. Let's throw it to Pedro.
So my praise is basically a copy paste from Fabio, but with an additional praise to Nugget, if he because of his hard work on the back end and his fast answers when I needed him, and Griff for his cheerleader skills during the last Sunday on the parameters call. And I think that everybody already praised it.
There's still Katie.
Oh, let's go.
Thanks. That's me, Suga. Okay, I would like to praise for all their support with the creation of the new working group Comunitas. Edo, Nate, Anna Marie, Nick, Mount Manu, Tam, Vive IV, Livia, Zepti, Acid Laser, and Ivy, and also then all of the stewards, including, the stewards, Santi and Griff, for their feedback and support with that. I'd also like to praise Mitch for accepting the nomination as a steward and his great work, deserving of that. Nate for TEC Source, and Christopher for help with the working group page on the website, which, Christopher, I'm going to get back to you on that so we can throw Comunitas up there. Also, David, for this huge smile you gave me when you gave that praise. That was awesome. So I guess you're my PST pal. Chewy for the collaboration on the video. Manu and Edu for the orientation call. And lastly, Nuggin, because I just wanted to say Nuggin. Back to you, Griff.
Sure. Nick, do you want to dish any praise? Oh, Nick's still muted. Actually, I saw what was it? You have to pronounce your handle for me. Isisaurus. I saw that you unmuted too. Do you have any praise to dish? Well, the Nick, Isisaurus, and Ty. Oh, Lauren just rolled in. Hey, Lauren, you have any praise to dish?
Yeah, sure. I can praise. I would like to praise everybody who was helping out with all this source cred, praisey type stuff this morning. Christopher, Livia, YGG, Mateo. There were so many smart people in that call. Nuggin. I can't remember everyone who's there, but I'm actually just going to type it in the praise channel because I'll think about it. But yeah, that was great. And I'd like to also just praise everybody who's working on Params. I want to praise Vitor especially for leading the Params call on Tuesday. And I want to praise Mitch, Nuggin, Griff, Marco. Yeah, everybody holding up the fort there. And yeah, I don't know. So Isisaurus, can you speak? I'll pass it back to Griff.
Yep. Okay, I know Ty Autonomous can't even hear us right now, so they're definitely not diving in. So let's get this party started. Oh no. Oh no. I think my internet might be running a little slow, so we'll see if it can flow for us here. There we go. Okay, so welcome to the 49th Community Call. Thank you, Praise Ivy, every time for sending out these slides. It's so nice. And if you guys love praise, as we all do, jump into the Discord. We don't just do it on Thursdays. You can dish praise anytime, any way, any day. If you don't have praise powers, message one of the community stewards, message someone that you know and be like, yo, give me the power. Because there is like a what do you call that? Like a tag on Discord that you need to actually have the praise counted. So this culture of gratitude is something that really makes the TEC special, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. So jump in, and we also have praise in Telegram if you want to go polycentric on the praise parties. Just a reminder, hey, we got $1.5 million. How nice is that? So we'll be designing that economy pretty soon. But before that, to make this economy work, it all relies on gravity. It relies on strong relationships within our community. So if you see something that could be a little awkward, maybe someone's getting someone's name wrong, maybe someone is misgendering somebody. Like, there's all sorts of opportunities for weird, awkward situations to occur, and we have a whole team that is like diving into that awkwardness for us. How cool is that, right? It's the gravity team, but they can't do it if they don't know about it. So please fill out this form if you see something that could improve within our relational fabric, and help them help us. Also, advice process, so critical. We actually had a recent advice process failure with OneHive and the TEC. We were renaming disputable voting to DAO voting. And we had a bunch of OneHive people in there, and we're talking about how, yeah, DAO voting, we were like lilac voting. We had all sorts of other mediocre names for this. And then we were like, DAO voting, oh, that's the best. Everyone in the chat room was like, this is perfect. And it was like, we have a great idea. We'll just skip the advice process and do it. Oh, guess what? Now we're sitting around in the forums talking about DAO voting, trying to convince that it's the best name, and then with some people who are stakeholders who wrote the code and have a legitimate say on what that code, how this structure should be named, and then we just didn't do advice process. And now we already made all these tweets about DAO voting, and they still want to change the name. So this is just like a microcosm of these little things. It's so nice to go talk to the people who are affected by the decisions and the experts on the topic before you say, this is what's happening, right? So please jump into advice process whenever you can. And with that, we'll throw it to the steward of stewards. Tam, take it away. Oh, you're muted still, Tam.
Oh, that's embarrassing. If you go to the next slide. So we just closed Sprint 17. And tomorrow we're planning Sprint 18. And this is a sneak preview of our new timeline. And it's still being validated by our stewards. So I don't want to reveal everything yet, or by the working group leads more specifically. But I do want to say that it will be ready before our next community call. And importantly, there's a section for hatchers sort of at the top, so that hatchers know what actions they can take during each of these sprints, and then a overview of all of the pieces of work in the working group work streams. As always, you can go to our Zen Hub board to see, let's just see, this is the one I want to share, to see what is being worked on at any time. And you can join any of the calls. They're all open. We have sprint planning, sprint retrospective, a sprint council that happens every other week. It alternates with the sprint retrospective, and the sprint weekly that happens every week. Can you go to the next slide? Okay, so yeah, we do have some really big news. Our big news is that we have nominated a steward, and he said yes. So everyone, please do congratulate Mitch. He looks extremely stewardly here, which I thought was very perfect for this announcement. And I'd like to just read the nomination that was written when he was nominated. I'd like to nominate Mitch to be a TEC steward. Mitch has been participating in the TEC since February. His ideas and contributions span back-end, front-end, comms, and beyond. They are invaluable. He frequently posts in the forum on numerous issues, including on both tech development and the cultural build. He is always also thoughtful, insightful, compassionate even, community-focused, and MVB aligned. I think he would make an exemplary steward. It was very touching. Everyone agreed. So we're very lucky to have Mitch with us now as a steward. Okay, so I talked a little bit about the sprint events. One thing that we do is the sprint retrospective. And this time I thought I would change things up. You know, if you are familiar with our TEC sprints, you are probably used to seeing this format where we say what went well, what we could have done better, and then take actions to improve or vote on actions to improve. But I'd like to thank Miro Board and Johanna Torstensen for creating this template that I found and thought we can have a lot more fun with it. So today we went through the exercise of the Commons upgrade as our goal and a tropical island representing the Commons upgrade. And we sort of riffed on everything that helped us, like the wind beneath our sails, the sun, things that made us feel good this sprint. The anchor represented things that were holding us back or things that we wanted to try to figure out how to do better. And then risks ahead to achieving our goals. So yeah, it's always fun to reflect on the things that happened this sprint. And this one was like even more fun than usual. And the winning actions for this sprint are have an open talk about financial expectations. Really, this is around the funding for the stewards and perhaps even beyond, treasury management and a lot of other things. So starting to have those conversations already. And then is there anything in the culture we should abandon? Does it feel like anything is holding us back? If so, how to make this transition? So those are the two things that we'll have some focus on in this sprint. Okay, so what's on the stewards' minds? This is our agenda for our weekly call. So I do invite anyone who's interested to know what we're talking about to jump on the call and talk about it with us, or to have a look at what it is that we spoke about. The things that we talked about were the topic for the Stewards Council, which is going to be funding working groups, and a lot of discussion around the decisions. So we have a date set for one of the proposals, which I think Juan Carlos will talk about later. And we have a date set for the, I think it's going to actually be this weekend, for the vote for the burning and minting tokens to the addresses that have been lost to the hatchers. What else can I share? Visual explainers, these lovely visual explainers are available on, let's see, here, the TEC handbook. It's on the very first page, so it's pretty helpful in terms of like getting oriented in the phase that we're in and what's coming next from a very, very high level overview. Feel free to grab it there. And then I want to share all of the things for advice process on the forum. So if you go to proposals and then advice process, there's been so many conversations happening. It's almost hard to keep up now, but please do jump in and contribute your thoughts and ideas. I'm going to also cover the legal working group because Santi had a rendezvous with a dentist and isn't able to make it today. So if we could jump to the legal slide. Griff? Oh, cool. Okay, so what legal is doing is making sure the terms and conditions for the bonding curve are tight. So they just published this draft for the terms and conditions. It's linked in this slide here. So if descriptions of the bonding curve, descriptions of TEC's bonding curve, and then these, all of the small print. If this is your thing, you should definitely join the Friday legal working group every other week. It happens. And if you can't, jump on the TEC Discord legal channel and start to have conversations with the legal team there. And I believe now I pass to Juan Carlos with Gravity.
Yeah, thanks, Tam. In Gravity, there are a lot of things happening, and I am really proud of all the things that are happening at the same time. Because, we will start the Graviton training next Tuesday, and everything is like ready. We have the POAPs ready, and the study content is already in the forum, so you can start studying. There's a 75% governance give back forum post that is a vote that is going to happen next week, and that is great because it's a vote to continue the implementation of the no abnormal intervention proposal. And it not only gives back governance to the TEC contributors, but it also helps to develop new tools to separate governance from token weight. So from token weight and have like only governance tokens. That's amazing. Also, we have the TEC launches on Fridays. 1 hour before the meme parties. It's a space to talk about non-related to work stuff and to support each other as a community. And also, Dan made a great post about objectification and focused on sexual objectification. I think it's super interesting because all of us have felt objectification in some way or another in our lives. And Griff, you can pass to the next slide because you don't want to miss the Graviton trainings. The POAPs are ready. And the bot is ready. You just have to send the password to the POAP bot in the server. And you will have the POAP. So it's amazing. And thanks, Michael Hewer, Bye V, and Acid Laser for helping with this. So with that, I pass to Softcop.
Thanks, Juan. So in SoftGov, we've been discussing a lot the decision-making space. So we worked a little bit more on the decision-making guide with Zeptimus, Ivy, Juanca, and myself, just looking into all of the voting types that we have on Snapshot and researching on them and seeing what is the best use for each one of them. What are ways that would be good to go for one rather than the other, and to obviously let that open for the community when anyone is going to propose something on Snapshot, but to have more information around what each thing is. You can scroll all the way down, Griff. It's down there as the last comment. So thank you so much, Ivy and Zeptimus, that concised a lot of the information that we talked about and posted in this really great post. So I think we're getting more maturity on the understanding of our decision-making tools and processes, and trying to be like the less bureaucratical possible, but to integrate all our possibilities in the culture. And hopefully at some point this will become very intuitive and we won't have to like think so much about it. And then we still have some topics for advice process, but then a few updates on these proposals. Tam and Juan already gave a little bit, but the one-time change of TEC addresses was supported in advice process, and then it was ratified on a snapshot vote. That we didn't really promote it. It was more like a test, but then a lot of people end up participating, so it's awesome. It means that it's not that bad to vote on something, that it can be fun. And then the since we had like a positive response for this, then the next steps was that Griff, Tim, and I believe also Zaptimus were collecting addresses of people that wanted to change their address for some reason. And then this collection ended yesterday. So it's just a one-time change of addresses. And if people would like to change their addresses again in the future, they would like to go through this whole process again, like ask for another vote. So it's great that this is happening now. And I think maybe if someone like last minute wants to jump in, like this is the last call, but it officially ended yesterday. And then this is going to be posted to the Hatch DAO because it needs to be executed in the contract. So it has to go there. And then the other proposal that is kind of moving forward is the reward system. I mean, the 75% governance give back. So a decision that seemed to be the best to move forward after a lot of discussion is to post this proposal to Snapshot as a yes or no vote, just to have a signal of the community. So can we move forward with this? And then if we can, we'll post to the Hatch DAO to get some funds for the Common Swarm team that will be delegated to deal with this. And if the Snapshot says, no, we should not even touch on that, then we won't even propose to the Hatch DAO. So this will be a signaling proposal because we have a toll gate fee of 1,000 DAI, and we don't need to go through all that process if the answer is a clear no. So that will happen very soon, probably next week, and we'll keep everyone updated for the Snapshot vote. And then just for the sake of time, I'll just mention briefly the reward system. Christopher made amazing posts on Miro. I put the Miro link there. So it's just visualizations of how we are dealing with the system, and we are making a task force to move forward with it. So a lot of people jumped on board today. So it's just good news for everyone in the community that is not up to date with that, is that soon we'll have a reward system reestablished and working for everyone, hopefully. And with that, oh yeah, and just a lot of this development and the more research aspect of it is going to be happening on labs. So YGG will talk more about that, but come to the labs. And that's it for me, and I'll pass
Livy,
to Zach.
can I interrupt for a second? Would it be okay if Comunitas went next? I have some obligations, and I'd love to just squeeze in really fast. Is that okay with you, Zepti? I think Zepti was next, right? Or everybody? Is
Go
that
ahead.
okay? I'll be super fast. Thank you. I have to go brush some people's teeth. So, okay. So I'd like to present the new working group, Comunitas. So where are slides at the bottom? Griff, by the way, are you in a motorhome? Uh-oh. My connection just got bad.
It's
Can everybody hear me?
You're good.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, so Comunitas, I'm going to just go over this briefly. You can check out this slide for yourself to click on the links. We just have the manifesto. So for those of you who don't know and those who do, Comunitas has basically been created to undertake both orientation and community building. So Comunitas basically stands for the spirit of community. So we're working on orientation and community building. V created an orientation bot. You can click on that to check out a video he created just to sort of show how it works. So the idea is that folks will get a message when they land, they can agree, and then they'll be asked just some super basic information. And that way we can start facilitating how to engage them, how to direct them through the community. And so meanwhile, we are engaging. Oh, and that data is going to be sent to this channel called Orientation Data. So meanwhile, we're actively engaging with the TEC Lounge, the TE Scouts. So the TEC Lounge, which is like inter-community engagement, and TE Scouts is in a way external. So like DAO to DAO relations. And we're also engaging with comms to work on an orientation video. So lastly, I'll just announce we have a few different calls to point out, which are the orientation call, which Manu and Edu took over yesterday on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. CET, and the TEC Lounge on Fridays at 5 p.m. And then, of course, the call for Comunitas itself on Tuesday at 2 p.m. CET. Whew! Thanks. Off to you, Zepti.
Thanks, Suga, and yeah, praise to Tam for doing the presentation. Yeah, on transparency, we meet bi-weekly. The other week at 3 p.m. CET. Yeah, we were doing some work sessions with snapshot voting. We were brainstorming and gathering some common intelligence, and we posted a forum post. And then Ivy was working on the price vote and the Telegram pin message were not updated. So Ivy was working on update them, and Tam was also reviewing it with her today. So praise to Tam again. And regarding the treasury debates, we were hosting them on Tuesday, and I just gonna give my opinion, but everything is posted on the forums, and I think like the common sense, it's like not to rush on any decision. It seems like we want to get that money. We still need to discuss how much, but the idea seems to be like get that money and then just wait and take decisions slowly. That's my opinion, but everything is on the forum and everything is transparent. I'll pass it to Solsista.
Okay. Yes. So yesterday we had our first focus group on token engineering ethics, and for those who have not yet caught on, it's this participatory action research that we have started on token engineering ethics. We have a couple of topics we want to get started with, but this one was a warm-up focus group just to get a feel of how we want to conduct those research, participatory research. And basically, thankfully, there were many practicing token engineers, people like Token Engineering Commons who went through or are going through their token economies, young and quite old in this space, like Metagame. And of course, block science, as Zargam, Danilo were there, and from Longtail FinTech, Sean and Mike and Aiden were there. So quite interesting was that we can already see patterns on typical decisions or situations in which we are and make decisions. It's mostly situations which bring up the question of, okay, this is a tough decision to take and I don't have all the answers. And basically, we didn't get to any answers yesterday either, but we have the recording and the chat, very insightful sharings. That's going to be analyzed. I think It's also now that we probably will start going weekly and have this basically 1 week focus groups, and the next week sync on the analysis that happens. And the second or the parallel project that we have is also about consiliency, meaning bringing together a resource hub of the very diverse backgrounds and knowledge sources we draw from when actually making this token network design decisions. Yes, so there are links, and if you want to join the analysis, and it's the next Wednesday, 8 p.m. CET, and for the next focus group, the analysis result insight will go to form or inform the next focus group, and possibly it will be more involving people who actually have insights on how, for example, research deals with ethical concerns in research and in engineering. So it's about getting us some
Thank you, Simon.
practical playbook.
I'm gonna just beg that you kind of wrap it up in 20 seconds, and then because we still have 4 more working groups left, and I want to make sure you can propose data.
Okay, so basically next is Sean. You agreed to Tech Lab.
Thanks, Soul Sister. Awesome updates there, and had a lot of fun in the focus group yesterday. It was really good discussions. Tech Labs, exciting as always. We have kickstarted the rewards research group, and there's been clarification coming because there's so many. There's a lot of resources pooling onto this idea of understanding rewards and also building up rewards systems. So we're coming from different angles. There's going to be a task force spinning up, which will be sort of an elite squad of ninja developers, led by Christopher, who's been putting together the rewards designs using Praise and SourceCred, and Alexandra for time logging in voice channels. Really cool stuff. So hop into the labs tomorrow for more information, and there will be information coming throughout the community as well. So stay tuned for all the excitement happening there with rewards research and also development, refining of the Praise system. There are Token Spice development workshops happening in the Token Engineering Academy every Monday, 8 a.m. PST, 5 p.m. CEST. Hop into the TE Academy Discord server for more information there. And there are Prime DAO, DAO to DAO developer workshops that should be starting next week, I think. So Prime DAO has a whole stack of tools that they want to facilitate interoperability between DAOs. And they are going through this spec modeling and development process with these tools. So that's going to be a really exciting point to jump in as well. Thanks, everyone. And I'll hand it over to Chewy for comms.
Thanks, YGG. In the comms working group, we meet every Tuesday. And right now we are working in Params September campaign, which you can find on Twitter. We're going to have a collaboration soon between OneHive-TV and the TEC, so stay tuned for that. The TE Scouts meeting is also on Wednesday, which is some effort of the Comunitas group and comms. And we also have David's Analytics Corner, which is like a recap in our Twitter stats every 2 weeks. So this also happens during our meetings in the comms working group on Tuesdays. Our manifesto is changing soon also for the comments upgrade. And our DAO outreach is improving a lot. This consists mainly on presentations of the TEC and what we do in other communities. And we're gonna be also summing efforts with Comunitas to strengthen these bonds with our communities. And I'll pass it to the Params working group. Griff.
Yeah, And I'm going to speed right through it. Of course, thank you guys all. Thank you to the whole Params team that supports this. We have a weekly sync on Tuesday. Vitor ran it last week. Praise. And and we also have this 4-hour hack session on Sundays, which are a lot of fun. We just put on music and hack on stuff. Even if you don't care about Params, it's just fun to listen to music and hang out together. So if you like working on Sundays, come hang out with us. And with that, I'll throw it. I don't know, Fabio or Pedro, who wants to take a demo and show quickly where we're at? Fabio?
Both, I think. Pedro can share the screen, so I will just quickly make a overview of the last test. So basically, since the last week, we have been working on config module 4, 2, and 1. So we have already finished the config module 4, that is the conviction voting. We already finished the TAU voting as well, and right now we are working on code review.
Do you guys see
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to
is the
interrupt.
screen working? Yeah.
I don't see any screen share.
Yeah, Pedro, can you try sharing again?
Okay. Can you hear me, right?
Yeah, we hear you.
Try again. It's appearing now?
Looks good now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I can
Sorry,
see
guys.
it. I can see. Yeah, I think that's it. So the last thing I said was we are code reviewing the config module 1. So yeah, that's it. I will pass it on to Pedro.
Yeah, guys, so just to add a little bit about what Fabio talked, this is the whole configuration module that we are coding right now. And actually, we have finished the module 1, 3, and 4. Today I finished the second module, but I have to do some fixes on that. We have some glitches and bugs on the front end, but I already fixing that. And this was only possible because Nugan finished the backend, so thank you, Nugan. And for the next days, we are going to work on the review and submit, and this is the part that we will integrate with the bot that Vitor already coded, but we just have to do some integration. And if I'm not mistaken, when we click this button here, we'll submit the proposal to open if I'm not mistaken, a pull request on some place on Git, and then all the information that the user inputted on the dashboard will be placed there, together with some description about what are the intentions of the configuration that he created. And don't forget to go to the GitHub and see the code and the application and give us some feedbacks and create some issues to that.
Nice, thank you guys so much. Sorry to cut the demo short. There's so much good stuff happening, but in fact, we have another demo by the Common Swarm. Paulo, are you able to share your screen and show us what the Common Swarm has going?
Yes. Because we don't have that much time, I can show you the fallback plan that I have prepared, just in case the real demo didn't work. But okay, 1 second. Okay. So these last weeks we've been working on the Commons upgrade script and on some migration testing script to actually test the whole process and to see if it works correctly. So what I have here are actually one test out that I create, like simulating the hatch. This DAO actually had 2 agents, and as you can see here, well, it had some tokens in it, but right now not. And I have the Gardens DAO that it is actually a Commons DAO because it already I already did the upgrade on this DAO. So just to show you, the process will be basically to create a Commons upgrade vote, which will contain all the actions that we need to do in order to upgrade to what we call a Commons DAO. I know this is like kind of impossible to read. But what we're doing here basically is installing the augmented bonding curve, installing the migration tools that we need in order to migrate all the funds from the hatch to here, and install also the the agent that we are going to use as the reserve. And also we are setting and configuring all the permissions for the bonding curve and the other apps that I just told you about. And we also are deleting all the permissions related to the dynamic insurance in order to deactivate it, and a couple of other actions. But basically, yeah, the idea is to create this vote. People will vote on this, so we can do the upgrade. Once we have the upgrade done, the idea is to create another script to do the migration. Here on the hatch test DAO that I created, have actually the vote. This is how the migration votes will look. So basically, right here, we're migrating some DAI from the votes that we have, the agents, I mean.
I'll give you maybe a 45-second warning.
Yeah, I'm almost finished. So this vote will do the migration. As you can see here, we'll send a percentage of the funds to the reserve, and the rest and the other one to the commons pool. So once we vote on this this migration vote, the funds will be transferred, and what I have here is actually like the transaction hash of that vote execution. So we had like 20 dice, testing dice on the agent that I just showed you, and here we can see how some of the funds are transferred to the Commons DAO agents. So a percentage will be sent to this agent, and the rest ones to this other agent. So I wanted to show you the whole process, like creating the votes and all that, but because we don't have that much time, well, here you can see the results. So yeah, this is all I wanted to show you. This is the work that we were doing this last week. So yeah.
Thank you so much,
super
Paula.
interesting. Why don't you take the remaining 2 minutes to show the rest, because it's really interesting, and we can push the spotlight to next week with my proposal. What do you think?
That sounds good. That sounds good, Soul Sister. I mean, we only have 90 seconds left. Maybe
I would like to show you the whole process, but it will take more than 19 seconds. So maybe we can do it on the next community call.
Yeah.
We have more time. So yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about the poor time management on this call, guys. Totally my bad. I will just off Apollo here is that the process we've reached a major milestone where we have the process to a pretty good spot where first the hatch DAO, of course, will vote on the parameters, right? And then when we have the parameters, we will set up an empty gardens DAO and then upgrade that gardens into a commons, and it'll just be a shell of a commons with all of the parameters that we selected in our through our process with the dashboard. And then the hatch DAO will migrate and actually talk to this other DAO using these migration tools, so that the two DAOs can kind of make a deal where it's like the hatch DAO says to the commons DAO, hey, I will give you all of my money if you give all of my token holders tokens in your DAO. And then that deal is struck, and the money will migrate from the hatch DAO to the commons into the right places, and it will and everything will be set up, and that's how we make a commons. So super cool. We have pretty much all the pieces in place, and we just have to do a little bit more testing and get it going. Thank you, Paulo. Thank you, Shebnem. Great idea to give you more time next time so we don't have to eat into the next call. But thank you all. We're at the top of the hour. What is the next call, actually? Does anyone know?
Gravity.
Gravity? Good. I'm glad we're still doing. Okay, cool. Well then, excited to see this gravity call before their training starts off. So it should be really good. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you next week.